Hey everyone, this is Serious and Sober. I'm your host, Rae Dust, and today I'm going to get Christeen Awad. I'm sorry, I'm a bad person. Anyway, she's going to yell at me in a moment when she gets in, and I'm going to get her. We'll just do this now. Hey Christeen, I love you. How are you?
I love you too. I'm apparently supposed to yell at you for saying my last name wrong 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's pronounced Awad, not
Awad.
Awad. But honestly, like my family has just given up on the pronunciation for the longest time. I thought it was Awad because just everyone just kept calling us Awad. So it was just like we just kind of gave up. We're like, okay, sure.
Yeah, honestly, I had a memory of you telling me how to pronounce it properly, and I have a memory of you saying that Awad is wrong, but I couldn't think of, like, it was just like I couldn't think of anything else. And as soon as I started talking, I'm just like, this is incorrect, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna fix it. Oops.
It's okay. I mispronounce my own name. Like it's all good. But I appreciate that you were just like, you tried, like you were just like, no, got to get it right. And then,
well, of course.
And then proceed to F it up 3 times on the live stream. That's okay.
Yeah, there's only so much my poor white tongue can handle. So, Christeen. So today we have Christeen here. We're going to talk about chronic pain and our own management and how we deal. So, for starters, Christeen, what's wrong?
What is wrong? Okay.
Wrong.
So do you want like alphabetically ordered, chronologically?
Do you have a spreadsheet? Oh, chronologically.
A spreadsheet. That's a new one. I like that one. I'm gonna that. No. So what's wrong? In terms of like, chronic pain, the topic.
Yeah. What happens to you every day, and also why?
Okay, so I have come horribly unprepared for this live stream. Okay, so that's one pain.
One pain is my preparations for my guests.
Time management, just super painful. So I actually don't typically go on this spiel, so bear with me. I don't typically talk about this with anyone, like maybe a handful of people when it comes up. So I have had juvenile idiopathic arthritis, which is a rheumatoid arthritis, since I was about 10 years old. Diagnosed when I was 11. So it was kind of like one of those things where like it started when I was 10 and then like diagnosed later. The diagnosis didn't really hit me like at the time, right? So it kind of hit me like a few years later when like the effects actually like kicked in. But basically on the everyday since then, it's just kind of been either like I'm struggling with like inflammation in my joints, or struggling with the mechanical damage from previous inflammation in my joints, which are like 2 different types of like pain, in my opinion. Yeah. So no, I kind of have like a lot of side effects from it. Yeah, so I think I have more side effects from medications than anything else.
Oh, that's awful. Oh gosh, I have I have a question that will tie into that statement because I want to talk about that for sure.
Okay.
But you were just asking me a question?
No, I was gonna like say, is this the segue into what is wrong? Like, but I shouldn't say with you because that's rude.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with me is I'm undiagnosed. So I'm at a point where I know what is wrong, but I don't know why or what's wrong. So it's just like I get migraines just because. But it's just like I get migraines triggered by my pain. I get like pain in my jaw triggered by pain in my back, triggered by this other pain in my back, which is because of my bad balance, which is because of my knees, which affects my ankles and then throws me off balance, which curves my spine, so it's just like everything is connected and it all hurts. And the doctors are just like, oh, but you're so young.
Literally, you know how many times I'll go up to like the place where you drop off prescriptions, pharmacy. Yes, I know words. There were times where I'll give them my medication, like the prescription, and they're just like, oh, is this for your grandpa, like, and I'm like, no, it's for me, and they're just like, but you're so young, and it's like, I don't know what to tell you, like, I get it a lot, so yeah, is that they just kind of, doctors just kind of tell you that it's like, you're young, we don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, they'll very often they just tell me that something else is wrong. Like when my back pain first started when I was 16, they were just like, there's no way that it's a pain in your back, so it's probably a kidney stone. And then it just like escalated. I kept going. I call it the doctor dance. So I kept going back and forth to different doctors, being told that nothing's wrong or that it's not their problem. And here we are. I'm still like, I'm going for more blood work, and then I'm being tested for fibromyalgia and Addison's disease now. So I honestly just hope it's something.
Yeah, hopefully those tests like actually give you something that will help the pain and help with, well, all of that connectivity of pain between all of your body.
Yeah, something like, and so much of it is financial, because it's just like, I need physio for my jaw, I need chiropractor for my back. I can't afford either.
Yeah. That is a struggle.
Yeah, so it's just like I all I can do is like at-home pain management, and I just do my best.
Yeah, that's kind of what you like, that's more than half the struggle, is like that at-home management of that chronic pain, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So moving on, I want to ask, how long did it take you to prepare today?
To prepare for this live stream?
Yeah.
Well, I shall reiterate, I had no time management skills for this. Like, I think I slapped on my makeup at like 7:30. Yes.
Okay.
So
all right.
I was just working on essays today. So
okay, that's fair. That may have been an unfair question. I was just wondering about your preparation routines and how those are affected by chronic pain.
My preparation routines, like how do I go through?
You get ready to go do something, yeah.
Okay, so it really depends, because some days like I wake up and I feel like I can go for a jog and be happy and things like that. Other days I wake up, I can't even move. Like there's no way of telling when those days kind of happen. Some days I do wake up and I'm like, can't move. Must be raining. I'll get back to that later. But
yeah.
No, in terms of like getting prepared for the day, like if I have like a lot of pain that day, sometimes I'll start it with like a shower. I find that like hot water and steam like helps me. It helps my muscles relax, and I find that muscles have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, especially like when your joints are kind of, not working the way that they should, or are under constant attack by your immune system. Then like your muscles are working extra hard to kind of keep you going, and there are times where like your muscles are affected and eaten away by some inflammation and things like that. Like tendons especially, I find, are like susceptible to that stuff. So I find that just things like heat packs, things that like relax my muscles in general, really, really helps me. So sometimes I'll start off with a shower, or I'll start off with some stretches. Takes me a while to convince myself to do stretches, so that's a bad. If I'm not having too much pain, like if I'm having pain, I'll take a painkiller or take my specific painkillers. If it's like a low pain day, then I just kind of try to get as much exercise as I can. Like not a workout, like just getting my joints moving, my muscles moving and all that. Do you have a routine?
Oh, of course I do. Well, like I try. Because like on those days where you can't get up and do your routine, Do you have a backup routine?
At that point, I literally, I don't really have a backup routine. No, I'm not. I'm not too sure. I just kind of I just kind of tell myself to take it slow and take it easy, really, and kind of slowly warm myself up to movement. Sometimes I'll go out and smoke a bowl, like smoke weed.
Mm-hmm.
That really helps, especially with sleep. But yeah, no, I hardly do that. I hardly do that when I wake up and smoke right away. But there are some days where it's like I actually just can't move or anything, and it affects my jaw a lot too. So if I'm having one of those days where I can't move, I most likely can't chew my food that day. So it's it's up and down every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I often have days where like I can't function until I do something for my time manage or for my pain management. So it's like some days that is waking up and doing something physical, like stretching, doing yoga, and other days it is just like I just have to go and sit outside and smoke a weed and just relax. And I just like those days where it's just like because like I'll try not to, and it's just, it's just like I don't like that I have to do that to function, but sometimes like you can't walk on a broken foot and you need that crutch to get you going.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Like there's a moment in time where I was kind of like judging myself and just being like, why are you smoking in the day and things like that. But honestly, it it was just like that stigma that kind of stuck with me since I was a kid, I guess. Like, oh, marijuana, it is bad, it is devil's lettuce and stuff like that, and it makes you like unmotivated and stuff like that. But honestly, there were days where I would ride out the pain with like and challenge myself like not to smoke, not to take anything, and like just ride out the pain as best as I can. And I end up doing nothing that day. I end up getting
Yeah.
into a really bad episode of like I'm 23 years old. Like if I can't get up and like walk, it just it's very humiliating in some ways, and it's not a fun feeling. So it's very easy to get into like a negative spiral from there. Whereas there's other days where it's like I defer that judgment from myself, defer that judgment from whoever, and I just say, you know what, like this is a pain management thing for me. And those days I actually tend to get things done. Like it's almost like there are some days where I cannot be productive without smoking or taking like tinctures or oils. Um, and like you think to yourself, oh, there's something wrong with me, but it's just how life is. It's just how
Yeah. Yeah, and like with all of the stigma around it, it's just like I understand that yes, sometimes people abuse it, and sometimes it can be a bad thing and have horrible repercussions. La 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 la. But kind of for me, it helps me, and it like I have like since I started smoking regularly, I have been more functional than I ever have been. So it's just not a coincidence that this thing is supposed to make me lazy and unfunctional has been contributing to my functionality.
Yeah, no, honestly, so there's like I find there's a certain kind of mind frame that you have to kind of take. I feel with this kind of stuff. Like oh man, I had a thought and it just completely derailed. Like the train of thought
Like off from the station.
Just off from the station. Yeah, no, no, I had a point. Well, it's had something to do. I'm sorry. Just go on. Maybe it'll come back to me.
All right. Well, you take a moment. I'm just going to pop over to our comments. We have one from Nicole, who is actually my childhood friend, so like one of my first ever friends, and her mom watched the show. So yeah, so
Hello,
yeah, so
Nicole.
oh, that is so long, so no one's gonna be able to read that. So I'm just gonna can summarize. So Nicole is saying how she has her first rheumatologist appointment tomorrow, so she knows how frustrating it is to be doing the doctor dance and having doctors dismissing your symptoms. And she also encourages you that being young doesn't mean nothing is wrong.
Yeah. honestly, and like that's like, yeah, you got it. You got it right there. Honestly, it's when it comes to the doctor dance, I've actually had to jump from like doctor to doctor. Well, like after um yeah, no, I had to jump doctor to doctor. It was very infuriating because like some of them just didn't really know how to manage what was happening with me. Like some, like this one doctor in Toronto, like she got me started on a new medication, and when I started to get side effects and tried to get back into contact with her, it was insanely hard for some reason. It was like, and rheumatologists are really hard to find here in Ontario for some reason. Like there's one in Barrie, one in Oakville, and I think like a couple in Toronto, but it like for some reason like to find like a rheumatologist that was open uh, for new patients, it took a few years like after yeah, no, anyways, I found my point. The train came back to the station, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Like back to the whole like abusing like weed and stuff. Like I understand where people are coming from on that. I've actually been one to abuse that, but that comes from a place of like that mentality thing I was telling you about. It was kind of like if I go into this and thinking to myself, I'm just gonna like sink into my couch and do nothing and just like succumb to the pain, then that's what I'm gonna do, right? But if I tell myself I'm gonna try my best to manage this and ride this out, and um and take whatever I need to relieve myself and take it easy, just generally being kind to myself, and like that actually helps me get things done in the day when I'm a little bit more forgiving towards myself for having a physical disability and for taking things for that disability. So yeah, I guess that's the end of my thing. My little
Yeah.
spiel.
Honestly, I love that and I appreciate that so much. And like it was like when I was staying with my girlfriend for 2 months, and I would like her and her wife don't smoke weed, so I would just like every now and then like she'd join me, but it was like I think like a total of 2 times over the 2 months, and that is like that's fine. Obviously, I don't need attention. But I would say like I'll going out to do the drug again, and she'd be like, "You're going out to take your medicine for your pain management," and
Oh, I
she just
love that.
yeah, she just like forced me to change how I worded it, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, being kind to yourself actually does so much for you.
Yeah,
And not shaming yourself for it either. Like there's a like well, because it's been stigmatized for so long, right? Like we only have just started to delve into like the benefits of it. And I'm excited to see where it takes us.
yeah,
And
yeah.
not just weed and pain management, even just like hemp products, like like hemp toilet paper, for example.
Yeah, the whole paper industry is an insane like have you heard about this? Anyone can fact check me because this is something that I read several years ago. So giddy up. Once upon a time, there were two budding paper industries: the tree paper and the hemp paper. The person who was heading the tree paper industry had a relative who's a politician, and then ran an anti-marijuana campaign to ban the growth of hemp products in order to boost the sale of trees, even though like hemp paper not only takes only 3 months to grow to harvesting instead of a lifetime for a tree. It's also like it's a more durable paper that lasts longer and is not the scary Mexican drug that the propaganda during the prohibition led us to believe.
Oof. See, I knew the benefits and like the whole 3 month versus lifetime thing. I did not know about all that other stuff though, like with the campaigns and all that. Some sketchy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Our world
I'll
is
have to look
broken.
into it. Sorry?
Our world is broken.
Honestly, that's just how things are, I think. I think things are supposed to be perfectly imperfect. We just have to
Oh
kind
yeah.
of fill in those cracks. best
Yeah, we
possible.
just all have to do our best and do whatever we can to, as I always say, don't
Don't
be a
be a
dick.
dick.
I don't think I should be allowed to have control over banners because this is amazing.
Honestly,
All right. Do you find that talking about your pain and experiences helps?
I don't know. I hardly talk about it. Like, okay, actually, I take that back because I talk about it every day in my inner circle, in like my closest circle. So like people who live with me. So it's like there are moments where I I can't just like scream in pain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I the way I express myself is literally by complaining. I know that sounds like awful, but it relieves me to just be like, wow, I am in so much pain right now. And then like
Yeah.
having someone nod and be like, yeah. Like I don't know what about it helps. I think it's just the form of expressing it.
Yeah, and the validation is definitely very important to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Um it like from my other like friends who are afflicted by chronic pain, such as yourself, Ray. I talk to them mostly, like, because it's someone that I can actually, I feel like they understand, not because like there's any reluctance to understanding from someone who doesn't have chronic pain. It's not like that. It's more like it's just being in those shoes, that adds like that tether of connection there. Like
There's less to explain.
there is a lot less to explain. Like there was somebody in my life, like in my family, who also like is afflicted with rheumatoid arthritis. And for them, it's like I knew it my whole life, all the way up until I was 10, and I was like, yeah, like that's awful. Like I'm sorry, like you have that pain. And it's like I thought I understood it. Like I really did. Like they explained it to me. They're like, my immune system, my white blood cells are attacking my joints as if they're the enemy, as a like, and bypassing anything else that comes into my system that's actually harmful for me, and like literally just attacking my joints full time. And it's like, well, that's like it's easy to understand that technical part of it, but then when I actually was diagnosed with it, I still didn't understand. Like did not until like it really, like the symptoms and the side effect and everything like hit me, and that's when I was able to actually fully understand like that person and that very close person in my life.
Uh,
um yeah, so like no matter how many times they verbally explained it to me, like it's a certain type of like understanding that was
mhm.
reached. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to accommodations, what is your preference? Like, would you rather see people, like, not even going out of their way, but seeing people make an effort to keep you comfortable? Or do you just like not want to be or like, is there a degree that you struggle with feeling like a burden when people try to accommodate you?
Well, yeah, like that's the thing. Like you always have to struggle, like you always have to struggle with those feelings of like feeling like a burden and telling yourself like, no, you're not. You're literally, you're burdened with something. Like that's what it
Yeah.
is, and it will affect you and maybe the people around you, and that's okay. Like that's just how life is. But in terms of accommodations, it really just depends on the context for me. So, um, like things that really mean a lot to me, like one time I was visiting my partner Jeffrey when he lived in Toronto. And like I come in, it's a cold day outside, and I come in and like the his room is just completely heated, just like there is so much heat in there, and I know the guy, he does not like heat, like and I just come in and I'm just like, wow, it's so hot in here, it's so warm, it's so nice for my joints, like what did you do? And like he like warmed up the room for me. Like it's things like that that mean a lot to me, but it's just like it doesn't need to happen. Like I don't need someone always checking in on me. In fact, I kind of like I kind of snap a little bit. Like when people ask me if I'm okay all the time, it's like when they know like what's going on, because I hate being vulnerable.
Yeah.
But that's something I gotta hurdle over at some point in life.
Hmm.
Like how about you? Like accommodations, like how do you feel with that? Like
For me, aside from I need more accommodations for my mental illness than I do my physical illness. So but I do struggle, especially because this addressing with, living with, and like being aware of my pain is new to me. I've just been suffering through and living through walking over broken ankles and just being in pain, thinking like everyone hurts. And I just like the idea of being a bother for anyone, like, just stresses me out so much. And I've had, even with little things, like when my girlfriend would offer like, oh, do you want to go for a walk? No, I'm too sore. Do you want anything to eat? No, I'm okay. Do you not want anything to eat because you don't want me to cook it? Or do you not need food? And I would just be like, I don't want you to do anything.
Aw. So it's like it's those moments of like reassurance, but also like how someone kind of like can see you in the position that you're in and in the complex like different ways that you could be thinking, like, hey, like I don't want to be burdened, but also like, or I just don't want food. Like I like that. I like that she was able to be empathetic, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of great. As they say, I struck gold.
You did. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so
Like the thing is, like with accommodations, it's not so much about accommodations. Maybe how you approach people in the public world is what matters to me more. Like I'll I look normal. Like I can go for a jog if I really wanted to. Like it's very painful and some days I just can't. Like but most days I look normal. Like if not all days. I don't look like I have like a chronic pain, or neither do you, Ray, because we're both young, right? So like I parked my car at in disability one day, and like I remember this day. I never park in disability. Like I only ever take out my disability thing like when I really need it and need to park somewhere like close to the building that I'm going to. So this one day that I actually needed it, I put it on the dashboard and I parked not even the first one, the second one, because I wanted to make sure like if someone needed it more than me, like they have that closer spot. But I was walking like no limp. I don't limp. I only limp sometimes. Like walking to the Walmart or wherever I was, and like this woman just like comes up to me and like telling me I'm everything that's wrong with the world. Like not come up to me. Like she didn't like come up to me. She was already like pretty close to me when this happened. So like she was where she was and she spat towards me and walked off. Like and I'm like, yeah, I'm everything that's wrong with the world. I parked in a spot that I actually needed. And
yeah.
so it's just or like this one guy, I was telling my mom like in another building, another story, sorry. So
It's okay.
whiplash. Just go with it. Like I was in a building like with my mom, and she asked me, "You want to take the stairs or do you want to take the elevator?" Because she knows that I was in pain that day, but she knows that whenever I can, I'll take the stairs because it's good exercise for my joints. And I said, "No, I think I'm because I'm in a public setting. I'm like, I think I'm like too lazy for the stairs. Let's take the elevator." And I go into the elevator, and like the guy that's beside us waiting for the elevator too comes in, and he decides it's a great moment to scold a young person about how they should know better and should be more grateful for the fact that I remember specifically he said there are some kids out there that don't even have legs. And I'm just like, okay, that's fair. I didn't say anything. I was pretty young, and like also like I just didn't want to start beef with this older ignorant gentleman. So he like we parted ways, and like my mom and I ended up having a conversation. Like she was just like trying to comfort me because I was like I didn't know what to say. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like just show kindness to people. You don't know what they're going through, right? And like and what they're capable of.
Yeah, that is such a good and valid point, because like As we say,
Don't be a dick.
heck, oh, God, just you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know anyone's perspectives. You don't know someone's physical limits.
Mhm.
Heck.
Yeah, just be kind. Like you don't have to accommodate the world. Just be nice, be kind. Like
Yeah, know your audience, read the room. If someone seems to be struggling, then like do something. It's so difficult, isn't it? Or I guess like it's so easy when I say it like that. But
hair flip.
hair,
Effortless hair
hair's
flip.
even like too long to do it.
All right. Next question. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have been asking questions, by the way. I've just been
Yeah.
sneaky. Anyway, what is the most useless advice you've received?
Okay. One time I was at a party and like at this point in life, one of my friends was kind of just like yappy about my personal life stuff. So at this party, she starts talking to like everyone about how her friend has like a disability and how she helps her with it. And like it was like one of those stories, right? Where it's like she jumps on as a hero. And this adult, and I don't remember, I was at least like I was between the ages of like 12 and 15, I'd say. I don't really remember, but I remember just thinking, okay, adult. She came up to me, she's like, did you know that grapes can help and cure inflammation? You don't even have to worry about the drugs you need to take. Just eat grapes. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just erase the last few years of chronic pain and just like walk up to the grocery store. Let me just get myself some grapes. I'm cured.
Yeah. Wow. Like that's the kind of thing where obviously like there is merit to what you put in your body having an effect on your body.
Oh yeah,
Like
diet is everything when it comes to immune systems. Like
yeah, like there's so much science to that. Like that goes without saying.
yeah.
But like also it's not gonna like grapes isn't gonna cure your arthritis. Like
Yeah,
they're gonna help. Maybe they might relieve some tension, and her heart, like that grown ass woman's heart was in the right place, but her mind and um her intention was messed, was boggled.
it was her intention was overshadowed by her ignorance,
By
right?
her delivery, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like it's okay to like do, you know what, I don't want to discourage like ever doing some research and like suggesting things to your friends. Like there are some people like in people in my life who come up to me and they're like, hey, like I discovered this yoga routine that specifically helps loosen up your hips, for example, and I think that is just beautiful and it makes my day and like it makes me feel thought of and seen. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
And but it's, see, that's from an educated standpoint, and it's not someone telling me to go eat grapes because it will cure my arthritis. Like it's not the same thing. They didn't even know what kind of arthritis I had. So
Yeah.
and there's many types of arthritis. Like most people think, oh, arthritis, like they think of osteoarthritis. So like the natural kind of like
Just from your bone, the friction from your bone joints rubbing against each other.
yeah, like your cartilage literally like dies. It's so
Yeah.
sad. It's very painful, but that is typically found in older people, right? So yeah, so there's many types of arthritis. I just have one subtype of one category.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. What do you do when people offer you thoughts and prayers?
I think it's really sweet that they pray for me and like they're just like, I'm thinking of you. Like it really depends where it's coming from, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I'm sending you my good thoughts, my good prayers. Like I actually like whenever my baba, my dad, he calls me and he's like, I was praying for you all day. Hope your pain is not is like I hope your pain's manageable. Like I'm translating. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
speak English, but but like
Yeah.
he's like I've been praying for you all day. It's so sweet. It means a lot to me actually.
Yeah, that is so sweet. I guess that question was inspired more for I guess this is something that would more impact people with visual disabilities
Mm.
because it's like I mean more like the random people who are just like I'm praying for you.
Yeah, that's like, okay, who are you? Like, why are you talking to me? Or
Yeah,
why are you
and
praying for me?
and that I think is like it's tied into what we were just talking about, where it's all about intention. Where like if you naturally find out about someone just mentioning that you have good intentions for them, there's nothing wrong with being a good person. But it's all like just read the fucking room.
Yeah, read the room. Like, okay, so intentions can be good and still be delivered horribly. So like having good intentions isn't always enough, I think. Just to like jump in on your intentions thing. But yes, like it reading the room and understanding like the full context and like really evaluating your relationship with that person and like understanding how they would react to that, I think is important.
Yeah.
We are all individuals after all.
Mhm. Definitely. And like just because like there's something that helps your one friend with a similar condition doesn't mean that this will be the exact same just like I always appreciate suggestions, but what is your most heard unsolicited advice?
um my most heard on I'm not quite sure actually. Unsolicited, I have no idea. Because like the thing is, again, I only really talk to um like close friends about it, right? And like family members. So I don't really get unsolicited advice, especially because I have an invisible disability.
That's fair, yeah. I'm just so loud about mine, so I'm just like I'm in pain. Everyone needs to know. So everyone is just like, have you tried yoga? Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I get yoga a lot actually.
Yeah, go for walks. And I'm just like, and those things do work and they do help. But so it's one of those things where I'm just like, I appreciate your intention, but like, yeah.
So
Oh, have you ever heard of I think I've talked about her on this before, but her channel is called Yoga with Adrienne.
I
And
think so.
yeah, she just has yoga for like every kind of problem, and so it's just like if you're having a bad day, to focus on your homework for like for certain pains. It's amazing. Like Google yoga for whatever you're struggling with, and like she usually will have a video for it.
Nice. I love that.
Yoga with Adrian. I am their spokesperson.
Are you sponsored?
No,
Oh, you know what?
sponsor me, Adrian. I love you.
Sponsor me,
Tag her in the video.
please.
Didn't have access. I should not be allowed to tag celebrities. My entire Twitter is just me asking celebrities questions or making statements about them and being ignored by celebrities.
Oh, well, that's a typical.
Yeah, I shouldn't be allowed on Twitter.
Hey, I mean, I don't even have Twitter, so I can't really say anything here.
Yeah, I have fun. I tweeted at Jeff Bezos yesterday.
Oh,
I asked him what kind of toilet paper he used just because I couldn't find it on Google.
do dragons use toilet paper?
I think he I think he's just probably using money,
Either using money or like
just shitting on the floor.
He has like a personal butt wiper.
Oh yeah, he has someone run the bidet for him.
Yes.
uh,
How do you think he orders them to like with the pressure and everything? No, don't answer that.
God, yeah, that's good. We're done. So, how do you sleep with your pain?
How do I sleep?
How do you sleep?
I actually have really bad insomnia. Like whenever I wasn't smoking weed and or even just taking it edibles or anything, my insomnia was so bad. Like I would stay up for like 2 days straight, 2 nights straight, like not intentionally. I am just laying in bed. There's no phone. Like I've tried that thing where you turn off your phone an hour before bed. No phone, no electronics or anything. And I'm just laying in bed and I just look to my window and hey, look, the sun. Like it's so infuriating because like I feel how tired my body is. Like my eyes want to sink into my skull. And it's just like but I can't manage to sleep, either because of the pain itself or because my mind is going because of the pain. Like something that often gets overlooked with chronic pain is like this overstimulation that you're constantly under,
Yeah.
and sometimes that really affects like what's going on up here. So there's like moments where I just can't sleep. I'm way too stimulated, and um, I have been prescribed sleeping pills, and for a year I took them, but I would wake up every day after feeling like I got hit by a train. Like I usually can't move very much in the next morning. Like I have to give myself at least an hour to warm up to even thinking about getting up. It was brutal. I hated
Yeah.
those sleeping pills. I actually looked at my doctor and I was like, "No, I am not taking these anymore." Like gave me another sleeping pill, did the same thing, and I was like, "No, no, I'm not doing this." And it was so much like it was worse taking the sleeping pills sometimes than like just not sleeping.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun time for me. Like I would even take half the dose. It was weird. I think it's something with my like, it's a see, that's the thing. Not everything works for everyone, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, so I found that actually smoking right before bed really helps me.
Hmm.
Um, uh, like before I sleep, sometimes I'll meditate, but
Yeah.
that's not always. It's like a sometimes thing, and sometimes that will help calm my thoughts down. Yeah, honestly, I think that's like all I can really give you in terms of sleep. Like, when it comes to blankets, I love heavy blankets. They very much
Heated
put.
blankets are amazing.
Yeah, I've only tried them once, and I had this one really heavy blanket back home, and I don't know what about it. Just like it put me right to sleep.
That's amazing.
Oh, my heated blanket, I have it right here beside me. I use this every day. I don't know why I didn't mention this. Like literally like to get over the morning stiffness because I wake up very stiff. Um um and and I'll just warm up the blanket and like put it on my knees or like my hips, wrists and stuff, and like it's so relieving.
Yeah.
How about you?
I use a heating pad and I just like will just lay on it for hours and it will just like boil my body and it's amazing.
I love it.
I've been meaning to. I'm trying to get into or into weighted blankets. Meaning, I want one. They just cost money, and I don't have money, so it's on my to-do list.
Christmas
Yeah,
gift.
yeah. Honestly, while you were talking, I'm just like, I should get Christine a weighted blanket for Christmas. As I'm just like, I can't afford my own weighted blanket, and I'm still
Wow.
just like, give me your mailing address. It's on its way. I already bought it. It's there.
You're so
It,
sweet.
Jeff has
Jeff has it. All right, Jeff.
it.
I love it. No, honestly, like that's actually a good idea though. I'll just like put it on my list of things. Anyways,
So, um, here's one. Have you ever not felt pain?
yeah, yeah. Um, well, like I guess we all feel pain, like you know what I mean. But it's just like I guess I know you mean like my specific chronic pain, the one that affects me every day, like this and to this degree. Like I remember up until I was like 10, I loved running, for example. Like I was always like conducting races on school grounds. I was that weird kid. Um,
You're
but
the
yeah,
leader.
yeah, I was the leader. I was the ringleader of like the troublemakers. It was fun. But yeah, it was that time in my life that like I obviously took for granted, but like I'm a kid, right? I'm allowed to. And I just like there's moments now that like for example I'm riding my bike and I recall like a memory of me riding my bike when I was younger and thinking, hey, this used to be an activity that didn't hurt with every stroke, you know? So it's like moments like those that kind of hit me where it's like, yeah, I remember what it's like to not live with this, and it leads to my frustrations, to be honest. Like I'm only human. I'll have like an emotional kind of breakdown from my physical pain. Like it all goes hand in hand. So um oh man, what was I talking about? Oh goodness. Don't smoke weed, kids. Anyways, it was moments like those where I would really like realize like, oh yeah, I remember a time where I used to be able to do this and like not feel any sort of pain, but like even just sitting down sometimes just hurts, and standing up hurts, and it's just like it's easy to remember. And it's on those days that I have those emotional breakdowns that I realize like it not realize, it's like I reminisce on those times, and it makes those breakdowns harder because makes it just makes it so much harder.
Yeah.
Because like you know what it's like to not live with it, so then when you're forced to live with it in a way that it like stops your week, your day, your month, your year, cue friend song. But yeah, no, it gets to a point where you're kind of done. But alas, that's why mental health is important, and taking care of yourself and being kind to yourself in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be good to yourself. You all deserve it.
Exactly. How about you? Like, do you remember a time without pain?
No.
No, no, just walking through life. Everyone feels like this, right?
Yeah. I just thought that life hurt.
Oh. Hey, you know what? There's some truth to that, but not in that way.
Yeah. Everyone feels pain, just not as often as I do, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is connected to our next question, which is do you know what spoon theory is?
See, I am familiar with spoon theory, but I wouldn't mind an elaboration.
Alrighty, so I will do a quick debrief. Spoon theory is the idea that everyone is functioning, or every activity costs an amount of spoons. Certain activities cost certain amounts of spoons for different people, and different people have different amounts of spoons at the start of each day. So if I wake up and I'm not in any pain at all and I have lots of energy and lots of focus, I am starting the day with 10 spoons. And you know what? Each spoon, for me anyway, is kind of different. And they each have like their own kind of weight and importance. And it's almost like I can offer like a big amount of spoons to a small task. But I can't do a small amount of spoons to a big task, or the task isn't going to end up very good. Like, I would never do this show with one spoon. I've come close. Last week, oh my goodness, I was like, even today, I'm very low on spoons, but I have 10 in front of me, so I'm good. And so, Christine, you also have 10 spoons in front of you.
This one's a little messed up like me.
Your perfect spoon.
A little burnt.
A little burnt out, yeah. Okay.
Yes, I have a tiny one too.
Yay! I have like a tiny little silver spoon, and then my little rainbow spoon. Love my rainbow spoon.
I love that rainbow spoon. I remember that rainbow spoon. I wanted to steal that rainbow spoon.
Wow,
who said that?
I also have a big one, big rainbow spoon, a whole set of rainbow. So with spoon theory, I was hoping that you and I can just kind of go through what we did today and what kind of spoons that we may have used.
like what we went through today? Like,
Yeah. How many spoons do you feel you started your day with?
actually, I'm actually curious as to your spoon story today, if that's okay if you go first, because I remember you just said that today you
Low on
didn't
spoons.
think you had enough spoons, so I want to hear if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. So I have so much to do. I am in school and I'm trying to run the show and I'm running other shows and I have like other exciting things going on. Some I can talk about, some I can't.
Ooh.
And but you know about all of them, so it's okay. I think. Anyway, I woke up today and I'm tired. I'm home for the first time in 2 months and I'm still not completely back in tune with my environment. So like, that's a spoon. You know what? That's a good spoon. So I woke up with 9 spoons today. And oh God, I was in so much pain. My neck was killing me. That's a big fucking spoon. That I was very low on energy. Despite going to bed early, I didn't sleep that well. I had a lot of weird dreams and I was clenching my teeth so much in my sleep. So I'm gonna use my spiky spoon for that one. Yeah, so then I had therapy. So that was big. It always takes a lot of spoons. So I'm actually I'm gonna take another nice spoon for therapy.
That's a pretty one.
Right? Yeah, nice spoon. And then after therapy, I was supposed to go through my DBT skills book, which is something I do after therapy. But I didn't have the spoons for it because I had to work on my homework.
Oh.
So I put a spoon towards my homework.
Okay, I don't do math. Like, well, how many spoons do you have left?
Right now, I have 5 spoons left, and I'm at 10 a.m.
Oof.
Yeah, so I had class at noon. So I worked on homework until 12 o'clock. And I was thinking, like, am I going to be able to handle class? I have a headache. I have such a headache. I was doing all of this with a headache. I'm going to take another spoon off for the headache. This is a soup spoon. And I went to class. And I was in class for maybe 10 minutes. And then my headache just got so much worse. That's me like scooping my pain away, I guess. So I left class. So that's a spoon. Then I spent the rest of the afternoon trying to do my homework, but I just couldn't focus because, well, like I only had 3 spoons left. So I got ready for today's show. So I did the questions and I did my makeup. So that's going to be a pretty spoon.
It's a pretty spoon.
That's a pretty spoon. And now I'm doing the show. So we're going to say that's a spoon. Christine, you're bad at math, but can you guess how many spoons I have left?
Okay, either one or none.
1. I have 1 spoon left.
Wow.
And I ate today and I did groceries. And because I'm scared of COVID, when I do groceries, I wipe down absolutely everything. I still have like my fruit is still drying.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I called the bank today. That was a spoon.
So are you out of spoons?
I feel like I should be out of spoons, but I'm grateful that I apparently started today with more spoons than I usually do, despite having that bad day.
Like maybe sometimes
that bad start.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes it's kind of hard to wake up and like know how many spoons you have that day until like you like quite literally run out of spoons and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, because some days you have 5 big spoons. So you don't notice that you're running out of them.
That's a good analogy.
Thank you. Just building off the other one.
Okay, well, I guess this is the segue into my spoons, is it?
Yeah, your spoon story.
Okay, so today I actually didn't wake up with too much morning stiffness or too much pain. Yesterday it was raining though, So that normally takes like 2 spoons, like right at the beginning of the day, because I immediately already do not want to get up at all. So I'd say, but today was a 1 spoon. I don't know which one to do. But let's do a little spoon because little Christine got out of bed.
Little Christine got out of bed.
And then, Frig, what did I even do today? Oh, it was just essay, and like that's all my brain could focus on apparently. So I woke up, I had like coffee, and I had breakfast with my partner Jeffy. But that was fun. So that didn't take any spoons from me. That was like some really nice downtime.
That's good.
I'm like actually trying to think what I did today. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Take your time, focus, do whatever you need.
I'm going to do a spoon for trying to convince myself to do stretches, because that I don't know what it is about stretches that I just don't want to do about them. Like they're so easy. It takes me 5 minutes, but I don't know why that took a spoon out of me, but it did help with some soreness temporarily. The essay definitely took like a spoon, a good old spoon.
A whole spoon? Are you sure not 2 spoons?
For the essay? No, just 1 spoon. Because I actually was enjoying that to some degree.
Okay.
Right. You know what, Ray? I had 2 classes apparently I suppressed out of my memory.
Okay, that kind of day.
Yeah. I've been in a fog. I don't like there's actually something called fibro fog. I'm not sure if you heard of it, but like literally you feel like there's just a fog on your brain. Like you just can't really filter anything very clearly. It's very odd. You feel very tired. But anyways, I had a class at 8 a.m. So like that took a spoon because it was business class too. So and then I kind of I was collaborating with my partner on a project that we're working on together. So that took a spoon because I had to really recenter myself with that. And it's kind of hard to wrap your head around things. So this spoon has flowers on it.
Oh, that is a very nice spoon.
For like details, because I was working out details at that point. Actually, apparently one of my old partner spoons. Actually, okay. Anyways, so my own partner. I'm sorry, I can't speak today. He is old. He's not. He's like a baby. He's 25. Anyways, so then I had another class at 12 with my professor, and like he loved my thesis ideas, so like that felt good. But like it did take a spoon because I was really nervous coming to him with practically no progress from the week before, but it turned out really nice actually.
Yeah.
So now I'm left with 4 spoons. And here we are. I think this live stream is going to take, to be honest, 2 spoons because I'm not used to live streams. 2, I'm not used to talking about this stuff. And no, just 2 because 2 spoons. So
spoons. Yeah, and you've done amazing, and I've appreciated everything you've said so much.
Oh, yay. I'm glad. I was like, I am just so awkward.
That's okay.
It's okay. Anyways, yeah, so I have 2 spoons left now.
All right. So using your last 2 spoons, I want to talk a bit more about you.
About me.
Ooh, and what's behind me.
Oh, yes. You were so supportive and kind and printed out my work because you're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna I am Christine's biggest fan, despite my inability to pronounce her name.
And also one of my oldest fans, because Rae was one of the first people to ever commission me. Like,
look at the Gara. How old were you when you did this? Oh, where is it?
Well, I don't know what day is on there.
Oh yeah, 2013.
Wow, that was a bit ago.
Yeah.
10 years. So I was about 16.
Yeah.
15, 16. Depends when I really drew that. But yeah, no, I think that was a New Year's thing. No, I think you really have been like one of my longest, like, oldest fans ever. Like,
I support you.
you're great. I mean, I support you. I'm your fan. I've been your fan for so long.
This is my painting of Christine that I included on the wall just because I'm very proud of it.
You should be, okay? Listen, oils are hard. Color is hard. My skin tone is hard.
And you're such a good muse and canvas, and I've done body paint on Christine several times. I use her all throughout makeup school. I adore Christine so much.
Oh, yeah,
And
better.
our final question, actually, Wes just asked a question that ties in to our final question because everything is amazing and everything's connected. So, you're an artist, Christine.
Yes.
And you experience pain.
Yes. Yes, I do.
What's dangerous about the idea that your pain is important to your art?
It actually is in like a lot of ways. So, I briefly mentioned before how I can't just be constantly screaming in pain, right? And sometimes like letting it out with like a few words helps. But there's other moments where words are I'm not a words person. As I literally always say, I don't do the words. I do the pretty pictures. But honestly, there's days where it's like words won't suffice, and like no matter what I do, I need to get that, I need to express that pain. So what I do in some of my process, like you'll actually, I think in the background, one of these paintings I've actually used for this particular process. So the one of the bathtub, yeah. So that one I painted. So okay, I'm sorry. I'm so flustered. Let me start over. My process to approaching some of my artwork is by literally putting up a canvas or anything that I can paint on, usually about my size or bigger. And I just like use my body, and I use the power of music to let out that energy, that negative energy, that pain that I feel on a daily basis. So like I'll put on some like really really loud music, and I'm singing along to it, sometimes like kind of screaming along to it, and I find that really really relieves me on like an emotional level that like nothing else can really relieve me like that. And it's only really when I'm pushed to that point that I can get to those points to include that into my artistic process. Yeah, so it's like if I'm really having like a bad few weeks, like let's say I have a flare up. So like flare ups can last anytime between like a day to like for me, I think the longest one has lasted is almost a year. Like it was brutal, like very very small intervals of time where I actually felt rest. And it was during those times that like I would paint these giant murals, and like I have it in my parents' home, and I just blasted the music, and I'm just like in my flow state, just letting out what I've been kind of holding in.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I have in some of my paintings like a really like nice smooth controlled look, and I think that's when I'm doing better. But then there's these really textured, really heavily textured layered paintings that I do that like you can physically like see like them coming out of the medium, right? So I definitely use art as an outlet.
Yeah. That's awesome. And with the pain, how does it affect your ability to work and have a job and everything?
Okay, like I have a disability and I forget that. So I sometimes suppress it to a point where it's like I don't have a disability. I'm perfectly normal. I can do this. And Like I was working at Harvey's for a little bit, and I remember telling my boss like I have a condition and like I can't work full time, but I'll work part time like 3 to 4 days a week, and that should be manageable for me.
Yeah.
And I would work only 6 hours, guys. Like this is like that's nothing. Like working like 6 hours. Like usually people
6
do,
hours
like,
is a long time.
but
Don't
like 6 hours like 3 times a week. Like that's you can't sustain
on fewer
yourself.
spoons.
True. But it was like in my mind, like I'm not being kind to myself, right? I'm like 6
Yeah.
hours, like that's I can't make a living off of that, right? But I would come home completely incapable of movement. Like I remember one time I came home and just like I was shaking from the pain. Like there is very few moments where like I'm physically shaking and like I just like collapsed to the floor. I couldn't move. I was just crying hysterically. It's like it's an outer body experience. I don't realize I'm doing that. I don't realize I'm crying and like saying please make it stop. Like things like that. Like it I'm not conscious, it feels for those moments. So it's like and that was after only a month in to working like 4 days a week. So it's kind of humbling in a way, but also like really infuriating because I love working. But I worked a way around that though. I found a really awesome desk job, and I loved that job so much. But then COVID hit. But yeah. So it like with work and what was the other question?
Just like your ability to work and have a job and everything. You're answering it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, that I think that's the end of my spiel. Like I have to accept the fact that I can't work like a normal person, and that is a fact that I'm still trying to absorb.
Yeah. Accepting that you're not on the basic like start point that you thought that you're raised that you're on. So you're looking at other people who are at that starting point and you're behind them and you feel like you shouldn't be and you don't understand why, and it can easily feel like you're drowning.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's like a small facet though. Like I very much delved into like my artistic career, and like it hurts me when I'm working as an artist. Like it still hurts, but that's the thing. I paint really largely. So that actually helps because I'm holding the paintbrush more like this. I'm not like this or like this. Like I'm holding it in the most loose way I can, and I can paint like that. And I can use my arm. I'm not like it's not as painful for me as like drawing would, or like I used to actually do really small drawings, and that's the way I used to do my work. But then like my arthritis got worse, so like I just had to find other ways to paint and draw or paint, I guess. And painting was one of those things, and painting largely was one of those things. I just hope that like I can draw and paint for as long as I can, and then maybe like just still teach it sometime. I don't know. I just know that art's for me in terms of work.
Yeah, you are one of the truest artists that I know, and I love working with you and just talking to you about art and having that experience. So thank you for existing and always sharing your art with me.
Well, that means so much to me. Thank you for existing and sharing your art with me and putting your art on me.
Yeah. If anyone wants to see, you can see Christine and her titties at Lock Desk Makeup.
Come look at my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Sorry. Anyways.
But we're lactose intolerant, so they'll have to leave.
Yeah, they'll have to leave. For their own safety.
All right. Do you have any closing statements?
Not really, other than thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to step way outside of my comfort zone, and like you've been very encouraging of everything, and being so supportive of me in every facet of my life, like art, chronic pain, like you know.
You're so important to me, and to be able to support you and help you the way that I have been is an absolute honor. All right. And so to those watching, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to Christine and I open up and talk about our chronic illnesses. As she mentioned, this has been a first and big rarity for her. And I appreciate everything that she's shared, everything that we've talked about. And I appreciate the genuine honesty that we just experienced. And I hope that everyone else is just as appreciative as I am. And I hope that you enjoyed today's episode.
I forgot to thank the audience.
That's okay. That's why I'm in charge.
That's like number uno to do.
That's okay. I also almost forgot. Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching from both Christine and I. We are paying attention to you, and you can pay more attention to us at Rae Locked Us Comedy. Okay.
So is this when we just say goodbye?
Yeah, we just wave until right now it just says it's ending, so I have no idea if we're still live.
Oh,
because it's just loading in a circle.
Yeah, it says we're still live on my end, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna